What is new for you coming up this week? This is a reading for the end of July, but our readings are timeless. So pick a deck of cards. You have 1, 2, or 3. Make your selection now. Okay, for those that picked card deck number 1, see what we have for you. And then we have a light here. Okay, well, this one is switch on. Okay, for the first set of cards. We have a couple of shuffles there. Okay, card number 1, deck number 1. Come on, we need some cards to whip out here. Oh, there's some there. Let's see what we got. Ace of Wands, the Temperance, 10 of Cups, Queen of Wands, 2 of Cups. Please give us a couple more cards. Just a couple more cards, and we'll be on our reading. A couple more cards. Couple more cards. More cards. Oh, there we go. Couple more cards. So we have the Fool, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Temptress. Okay, the Ace of Wands. You'll be starting off the week in your element. You will feel on top of the world. You will feel like you're on top of the mountain. Everything's going to work out for you. You are the boss of your own week. Your week is going to turn out wonderfully at the beginning. You manage to stay on task throughout the whole entire week. You're not tempted by anything that may come your way. You do, however, maintain being on top of the world. It's going to be a very, very good week for you. You're going to flourish. You're going to be able to come into an abundance. Now, an abundance doesn't necessarily mean money, but it could feel that way to you. It might feel like, hey, you know, a lot of good things are happening for me. It feels the exact same way a raise would, or to get an extra couple of bucks, or to come into unexpected money some way, somehow. It's going to put you on cloud 9. This is a very, very good week for you. Very good week. With the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, whoever is your partner or the person you're with, your best friend, is going to have the same type of week that you are, and you're going to be riding off one another. Both of you are going to have a very good week this week, and you're both going to be able to prosper. Not necessarily come into money, but it's going to be one of those weeks that it's unbelievable for you. No matter what you do, or no matter how you try to screw it up, neither one of you is going to screw up. You're both in your element. You're both being able to move forward, to progress. A very, very good week. However, towards the end of the week, you feel a little bit, or someone out in Tarot land is going to be second guessing the things that they do. They're going to be feeling like they're tied, that they just want to be free. They would just like a moment of time where they could relax, where they could sit with their thoughts, where they're going to be able to breathe. Their things are going to be rushing around and rushing around and rushing around. Not that you don't like rushing around. You do like that to a certain degree, but too much of rushing around is going to put you in a feeling like you're trapped, that you shouldn't be doing as much as you're doing, but if you did it any other way, you wouldn't like it either. So too much for you is way too much. Too little for you is too little. So although you are having a very, very good week, and the person in your life is also having a very good week, you will, towards the end of the week, feel as though you have taken on too much at that time. It makes you feel like you've just carelessly took a step without thinking about what you were getting into before you got into it. An opportunity, from the way it looks like to me, is that you've bitten off more than you could chew, that you've taken on more from work than you've meant to take on. This is not going to make you feel like you could handle this situation. You're going to say, oh God, what did I do? The week was turning out so wonderfully, and now I've gone and pissed it all away. Now I've made this one decision to take on more than I could possibly do. Now I'm stuck doing it. However, even though you have taken on too much, towards the end of the week, you come out of it smelling like roses, and everything seems to work perfectly for you. Now I'm going to get some clarification cards going here, and I am going to choose the Oracle of the Unicorns. So let's do some clarification here on how your week's going to be. We will call upon spirit guides near and far to see how your week will go. Spirits near and far, give me some cards for our viewer. Spirits near and far, give us some cards for our card stack 1 viewers. Give us some cards for our stack 1 viewers. Give us some cards, clarification cards for our stack 1 viewers. Spirits near and far, give us some clarification. Near and far, give us some clarification. Okay, we'll take those. So what I get here is that there is a woman out there, or man, the card could be taken both ways, that is holding their heart for you. Now, this even builds you up even more, which means they're holding a heart for you. They're giving you their heart. So some of you that are looking towards a love reading here, what it's kind of saying to you is the person that you really care about is holding their heart open for you. They're going to open up for you. So this is a good week for you. Whether you're in business and finance or whether it's a love reading for you, this is actually working for you. For some of you, you're in a job where you have to think a lot. Now, it does say the thinking woman. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's a woman. She can be a guy. She can be a girl. It doesn't really matter. But this person will be doing a lot of thinking at their job, a lot of working out situations, planning, building, trying to decide what they're going to go and do. The options that you have open for you this week and your planning that you have been doing comes into play, and it works out for you. So your outcome for the decisions that you've been making and the planning that you've been doing is going to come through. And this is right in front of the Fool card, where you take on too much. You feel that you've deceived yourself by taking on too much. You were in such a good mood, you said yes to every opportunity that came up without even thinking about how much work it would take. So you just deceived yourself. Okay, since the love did come up, I'll use some romance cards here for the set of people that romance did come up for them. We're going to use the Romance Angels and see what that has to say for you. Romance Angels, far and near, please come into play for reading number 1 because romance came up. Please pick out some cards for us. Boy, that was fast. Okay, what we have here is soulmate. Now, a soulmate could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be your spouse. It could be your ex-spouse. But your soulmate is somebody that teaches you something, helps you learn, because that's what we're all here for anyways, is to learn. With others reading and watching, with others watching this, there is a strong chemistry between you and your partner or the person that you like. And this is the start of your week where you can open up to this person. If you're planning on trying to get pregnant, this would be a good week to do it because the children cards come up. You're really opening up to the thought of having children. This is going to work. This will work for you. This would be a good time to start the family. You're starting the week off on a good note. Why not? Okay, and just for a message from Spirit, last outcome message from Spirit, something that Spirit would like to tell you for this week ahead. Something Spirit would like to tell you for this week ahead. Please find us some cards, Spirit, for this week ahead. Oh, there we go. Here's some highlights for Spirit. When you need help from pain or fear, judgment or attack, or any form of separation, call for help. If you need help with a situation, instead of balling it up inside of you and keeping it to yourself, you need to talk to others. This will release the pain, this will release the fear, and you could actually get some good advice from somebody you trust. Focus on the things that are near and dear to you. Your energy creates your reality. Focus on what you want to see happen for you. If you want to see a happy life, focus on that for this week. If you want to have a good time at work, focus on that. The way you start your week off, if you focus on the things you want, at the end of the week it won't be so bad. With this reading here, this week it was going to be one of your best weeks. When I think I've surrendered, I surrendered more. This, I feel, goes towards where it has the Fool card, that somebody has taken on more than they could chew. I think you have surrendered yourself over to your work because you've had such a good week. You say, can't get any better than this now, so you even try to have a better week. A lot of you are leaning towards your faith, the way you feel spiritually, mentally, and it all works into play. You can change your mind. You can change the way you see your world by the way you change your mindset. And that's what learning is all about. This week is going to be a very good week for reading number 1. Thank you very much. If you like this reading, click the like button and subscribe. On to number 2. Hello everyone, this is for card reading number 2. Okay, this is going to be your week ahead, and we'll see what's going on. Maybe I should shuffle them first for you though. I'll just get other energies on there. One of you is baking right now. Make sure you're checking your baking, or else it's going to burn. Like I can hear your alarm going off right now. Please check those cookies. Press stop on the reading. Okay. Enough shuffling. Spirits near and far, please pick us out some cards. For reading number 2. Woo, thank you very much. See what we got. We have the moon. 4 chalices, which are swords. 6 of pentacles. The witch. 6 of wands. Okay. Please, spirits near and far, please give us a few more cards, please. Woo, there we go. Few would equal 3, a couple is 2. We have 3 cards. Okay, for what I get from these cards is that you're looking at the beginning of the week, and you're hoping it's not as bad as it was the week before. You have misconception that things are not going to be very good this week, even though the moon is in the card. It looks like the moon looks very content. It does not look like it's sad. The trees don't look like they're sad. To me, it's a very beautiful card. To me, it's saying that it's not going to be as bad as what you think it is, but you're looking ahead to the week thinking that it's not going to be as good as what you thought before, but it is. It's better than what your last week was. Last week was very hard and trying for you, and at times you just felt like throwing in the towel and giving up and walking away. This week is not going to be like that. Even though you feel in hearts to hearts, what is this week going to hold, and you really want something different to happen this week than last week. You begin the week thinking that you're going to have a bad week. And throughout the week, you will sit back and say, okay, when something does arise or something does come up, you'll sit there and you'll say, oh, it's just as bad as it was last week. When honestly, that is you predicting a bad week. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad week, but if you sit there and you say, oh, it's going to be a bad week, it's going to be a bad week, it's going to be a bad week, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep on saying it's a bad week, you're going to have a bad week. Try to think that it's going to be a good week. Try to tell yourself it's not going to be like last week. This is a different week, it's a different day, it's going to be different for you. You feel very thrown back to the day before or the week before or the things that happened during the week. Don't worry about what happened last week, because if you keep on festering, it keeps on festering, it's going to keep on festering, it's going to pop, and you're just going to end up having a bad week like last week. So you're going to have to get your mind to keep on thinking that you're going to have a good week. So you start off the week thinking, okay, it's not going to be as bad as last week. I was told by that reader that did my cards, it's not going to be a bad week. It's going to be a better week than it was the week before. So, I'm going to throw all caution into the wind, and I'm going to think, maybe it's going to be better, I've had some really bad weeks, and last week was pretty bad, so I'm gonna keep up the way I feel, and hopefully the week will turn out fine. I'm gonna hold on to that bit of hope and say, yep, I'm gonna have a good week. So you head off and you start your week out, and you find that you're seeing people and you're around people that are not telling you the truth. They're whispering behind your back. They're not telling you everything. And normally, like if this was last week, it would crumble you. It would send you on a spin. But you've already said to yourself, okay, I am not going to have a week like I had last week. So you're able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So these deceitful people, you're able to see further than that. You know that they're up to no good. You know there's something going on with them. You know they're trying to hide stuff away. You know they're not telling you the truth. You know that what they're saying to you is, it has to be taken just for the words that they're saying. They're trying to make something sound better and greater than what it is. And you know it isn't. You know that it's not as good as anything that you've seen before. Because you had such a shitty week last week, you're able to see that now. See? Sometimes having a bad week actually works out for you. So then you start getting your own plans and your own ideas, and you're able to see further than the hand in front of your face. You're able to plan. You're able to plan out what you're going to do this week, what you're going to manifest this week. It's kind of like you're doing your own spells on yourself, praying, whatever. You're doing your own ideas and making your own plans and making deciding on how you're going to fine-tune the things in your life. And that really pays off for you. You're able to see the other side of things, whereas last week you couldn't. You were blocked. You couldn't see further than the hand in front of your face. This week you're able to see further than that. And you're able to come out of whatever negative energy there was last week. You're able to see that for something different than what it was. Last week you've seen it as being pretty crappy. This week you're thinking it's not as bad as I originally thought it was. Now you're going to hear barking all the way through my readings. I have 3 dogs, and I'm not locking my dogs up. My dogs feel the spirits that are going around while I'm doing readings, and they're just reacting to it. So with you feeling like it's a better week for you than it was last week, it's almost like a victory for you. And you're willing to take on something new. Something new comes up to you and you say, well, I had such a crappy week last week, I may as well try this week. And this is going to really get you further ahead. This week is going to be one of your best weeks. The last card, the last reading number 1, they're having a good week too. This one you think is going to be a bad week, but it ends up being better than you actually thought it was going to be. And you're going to get further ahead this week than you were last week. And this is really going to make the weekend for you really fulfilling and happy, and you're being able to say, I had a good week. This is going to take the stress off your shoulders that you felt from the week before. So although you start off the week dreading it, absolutely dreading it, you go out the door, you do meet deceitful people, but you're like, you're not going to fool that crap on me. And you are going to plan ahead so that whatever happens in that meeting with the people that are being dishonest to you, you're able to see through it. But from them being dishonest, last week you would have fell for it. This week you won't, because you had a crappy week last week. Because you're seeing through that, it has made you realize something that you didn't realize before, and that is your victory. And you're able to take on something new, that it absolutely works for you. And when the end of the week comes, you are absolutely loving life because you thought the week was going to start off crappy. Now, because you thought the week was going to be very bad, I am going to give you some clarification with Work Your Light Oracle cards. This will tell us what to look forward to for this week, like certain things that might pop up out of the blue. Spirits near and far, please give us some insight in this. Please give us some insight. Spirits near and far, shed your light. Spirits near and far, shed your light on this reading. Reading number 2. Please show us your light. You know, it's funny how sometimes that happens. You know, you have a really bad week the week before, and then you get into the second week and you're like, oh God, I hope I don't have a week like I did last week. Because if I have the same week again, oh, that's it. I'm going to quit it all. I'm just going to run away. I'm just going to drive to Timbuktu, and I'm never come back. And there's weeks that you have like that. Everybody gets them. But the difference between some people and other people is how you deal with it when it happens. Spirits near and far, please give us a few cards. That's all I ask for, just a few cards for this reading. Just a few cards, please. There's one. And these ones are showing their faces to me. So I'll read these ones too. Okay. Says, Council of Light. So you do have Spirit leading you up here. You do have some divine intervention. You know, you do have helpers that are going to help you with this week. Because last week it just wasn't for you. Get grounded. Make sure you when you're feeling as crappy as you did last week, that you find something that you could take it out on. Like, you know, for some of you, you would do some painting. For others of you, you like to go on walks, nature walks. You have to find something that makes you grounded or connects you with nature, or you're very highly sensitive to the people around you, which creates negative energy in your system, and you just want to shake it off. You have to find that one thing that you can devote your attention to, so you don't take the feelings that you felt from last week and do more harm than good. Just like I said before I even put the card down, do something that changes your energy so that you could just shake off whatever does not serve you well. You shake it off, you ignore it. I don't care if so-and-so said that you're an asshole. You know what? Move on from it. Just keep on going. Exactly. Just trust your gut. You know, if you have a bad week, try to just brush it off and say, this is a new week. This is a new beginning. You can change everything in your life in one day by the steps you make. Also, when you do have a really crappy week, don't think the next week's going to be like that. Recharge your battery. Take some time out for you. You know, rest. Try to rest. Think about the situation that you were in last week and see how you could have changed that to make it better. That's how you grow. Now, message from Spirit. We're going to do message from Spirit. Message from Spirit. And see what Spirit wants to say to you. Message from Spirit for this week. A message from Spirit for this week. I'm hearing just stop. Breathe. Just stop. Breathe. Just stop. And I think somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to repeat that mantra. Stop. Breathe. Just stop. Breathe. Spirits near and far, please give us your messages. Please give us a message. For deck 2, please give us a message. There's 1. Can we have 3 more, please? There's 2. 1 more message, please. 1 more message, please. Spirits near and far. 1 more message, please. Thank you. Okay. This is thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. So, it's taking that negative energy, pushing it aside, and seeing what's in your highest good. The more energy and intentions I bring to faith, the more fearless and free I am. I think the deck number 1 got this one as well. Just, if you want to get out of the negative energy, don't put any energy towards it. Ignore it. Push it aside. When you're fearless, freedom lights up the world. Okay, when the negative stuff doesn't affect you anymore, your world becomes lighter, freer. You have more energy. The energy is kept within instead of giving all your energy out. Okay. And I will do some energy cards to see how you can get some of your energy back. Please, spirits, near and far, please tell our friends how they can get their energy back when they have a negative week. Please tell us how they can get their energies back after a negative week, how they can get their energies back and keep the flow going. Please, spirits far and near. Ooh, that one flew across my room. So, you have hostilities. Please, spirits near and far, how do they get out of the negative energy and free the positive energy to deal with bad weeks? Please, spirits, near and far. That's Angel of Balance. Please, spirit, near and far, tell us how they can overcome negative energy and be able to make their next week better. Okay, this is what we got. Don't show hostility. There is people out there that will do anything to piss somebody off. It doesn't matter. To them, it's fun. It's fun to piss people off to them. If you let them piss you off, they've won. Don't let the hostility, which is them, change your energy. Try to think positive and realize they're just doing this because they like it. They think it's fun. You don't want them to have fun because they're being idiots. Don't argue with them. Don't fight with them. Don't give your positive energy to them. Next card that comes up is Angel of Balance. You can't have it all your way. You cannot have all positive energy and no negative energy. You can't have all negative energy and no positive energy. There is always going to be a balance of negative and positive energy. And the reason for that is if you only had positive energy in your life, there would be nothing to look forward to. If all you had was negative energy in your life, you wouldn't enjoy your life. It comes and goes and comes and goes. There is a balance. And there is people out there that are dealing with financial strains. And I understand that. This virus that's going around is terrible, and it's caused a lot of damage for people. Try to breathe. Just try to breathe and say, okay, fine, this is how much I've got. What can I do with this? And try not to be upset with it, which is going to be really hard, because if your head is full of all the pressure and the financial restraints and the bills and everything that's going through your head, you are not going to be able to make good decisions, because all you're going to have is the blah, 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 blah going off in your head, which is the financial strains. Try to work it so that it's easier for you. If you have to move to a new location because the one that you're in is too expensive for you, do it. Those are just material things. Those are just material objects. Okay? What's important is you and the way you live. And actually, to tell you the truth, with the number 13, some people look at that as being a very bad number. It's not. It's actually a lucky number. So even though it says financial restraints, means that you're not going to be able to spend the type of money that you once were. But 13 isn't a bad number. If you can't spend the way that you once were, there's a lesson behind it. That is reading number 2. On to reading number 3. If you enjoyed this reading, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll read it. Thanks. Bye. Reading number 3. Number 3 is always my favorite. Even when I look at other readers' cards, pick a cards, I always seem to pick number 3. I don't know why, but I always do. So on to reading number 3. We'll shuffle them. This is for next week, but for the end of July, but my readings are timeless. You can watch my reading a month from now and something will come up that happened in this card reading that will make you say, huh, wow, that actually happened. I can't believe it. And for some odd reason, all I can see is there something that has to do with a teddy bear for somebody. A teddy bear that plays some kind of tune. I don't know if somebody's getting that as a present from somebody this week or what exactly is happening with this teddy bear, but there is a teddy bear coming up. For somebody that's viewing this right now, there is a teddy bear coming up or something in regards to a teddy bear. Okay, spirits near and far, reading number 3. Please pick out some cards for our readers. Thank you. Please pick out some more cards for our readers. Thank you. Just a couple more, please. A couple more cards for our seekers for reading number 3. A couple more for reading number 3. A couple more for readers number 3. There we go. There's 2. That's a couple. Thank you. Okay, so for this week, what I am getting here is somebody gets some really bad news this week. And it makes them feel very helpless and lost. And that happens at the beginning of the week. And it makes them feel like they've lost all hope and everything. That they just want to move on from it. They're upset. And it seems like, nothing seems to be working out from them. And they're just looking for some kind of connection to something. And they just feel hopeless. And they feel like everything's lost for them. And, they just need some kind of insight. Something that says, they're doing a good job. They're going to be coming into something, or something's going to happen for them. They're just very saddened by the beginning of this week. It was probably because last week something happened during the week that has carried on through to this week, and it's come to a outcome, whereas last week you didn't know one way or another, but this week you absolutely know, and it's crushed you. It's made you really upset, but there's not much you could do about it because it has happened. It is over with. But you're looking for some divine intervention. They have heard you, and they understand how you feel, and they're trying to send you as much energy as you can handle, because there is going to be a situation where you're going to have to be the head person behind this. You're going to have to brush off your knees, stand up straight, and be able to carry on. And Spirit understands that, and they're willing to help you. You haven't lost out on everything. You haven't lost out. You are going to be able to see this through, and you do have help. Even though it's going to feel like a really tough week for you, where you can't make heads or shoulders out of it, you're going to feel very bad, and you're going to feel very, very saddened by what's going on with it. But the steps that you make when you are having a hard time, the steps that you make when you're down, and you're down and you don't know what to do, and you're looking to guidance, and you can't see the light, and you just think there's another train coming through that light, and you can't see further than your hand in front of your face. What you learn in those situations, who is by you, you're going to learn who is your friends, who are not your friends, who were just in it for themselves, who weren't in it for themselves. You are going to learn a lot of this. You're going to learn a lot this week. This is going to be a very personal and emotional week for you. And with every bad or negative information that you get, there's always going to be light behind it, because there's no such thing as all dark, and there's no such thing as all light. The two of them work together. Darkness and light work together. They always have, they always will. And you will rebuild your tower. It's going to take a little while, and you're going to have to spend this whole entire week probably planning out your next step, or planning out the next thing to do. And you will get it all done by this week. And you do have financial growth coming. It may not seem right now, because you've just had some really bad luck. It doesn't seem like that now, because the energy is terrible for you right now. But it will eventually come. You will eventually see the light through the forest. See the light in the forest? Right now you don't see that. You're in the thick of things. You're really in the thick of things. And it seems so far. It seems like it's flipped over for you. It feels like you're not even there yet. You've got to work at it. You will rebuild your tower. You will get out of the forest. You will see the light through the forest. You will be able to rebuild. And I do think this has to do with moving. You may come to a situation or a point where you're just going to say, there's nothing left for me here. I am going to move and find something that serves me well. There's nothing here for me anymore. There's no job, there's no friends, there's no life for me here anymore. My family doesn't live here anymore. There is nothing for me anymore. There is nothing for me anymore. I need to leave. I need to get away. I don't want to be here anymore. And then your ship comes, and you're able to get on that ship. But you have to go through a lot of emotional steps before you can get on that ship and move. Nobody likes to have a bad week. Nobody wants a bad week. Nobody wants to have that. But you will again be able to have better than you have in a while. You will be able to find, this is the Lover's card, so you will be able to find love or a commitment or financial endeavors. You will eventually be able to find that. This week is not going to be the best, and you're not going to be able to make heads or tails out of it until towards the end of the week. and the end of the week starts looking better because you get a game plan. You get a way to figure out how to do this. And you become more guarded. You become more enlightened. You become more, oh, you're not going to do that to me again. I saw what you did. You're not going to do that to me again. I am going to be able to get through this. Why? Because I'm strong. I can do this. Now I'm going to pull some clarification cards on this because you need to hear some messages from Spirit. So Spirit, can you please give us some information on how they should plan this week after having such a rough beginning, how they can move forward and make it a better week? How are they supposed to plan to be able to change everything, to make it different from them? Okay, spirits, near and far, please pick out some cards for our seeker. Need of help. They're in need of help. They're looking for advice. They want to know how to make this week better for them. One more card should do it, because I know you gave us a lot of cards, but one more card should do it. One more card, please, Spirit. That one. Okay, let's hear the messages that we receive from spirits near and far. This really, this feels right. You have a false sense of entrapment, and that's the way you would feel if you started off the week terrible and something bad happened, and you would feel like there was a false sense of entrapment. You would feel like you had nowhere to go. You would be focused on your material things because you're going to have to start all over, and it's going to feel very negative, and you're going to have fear in your thoughts of what to do next. You need to focus, communicate with a vision, be a leader, stand up, brush your knees off, get some advice from somebody, and on what to do. This could be a banking thing as well. You might have to check your funds. Check your funds. And I'll say it again, check your funds. And things are happening great speed. It doesn't give you time to sit down and go over what you have to do, but you have to, as they're coming to you really fast, you're going to have to think quick on your feet on what your next decision is going to be, which you could probably do because you're a very intelligent person. The outcome will be happy. Just like I said, you will be building your tower again. Your outcome will be a lot better. And you'll have brighter ideas and new ideas that will lead to success. You just have to have that confidence in yourself. Just because you were told over and over and over that it's never going to work, you're a piece of crap, blah, 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 it will work out for you. You have to have confidence in yourself. If you can't believe in anything, believe in yourself. Enjoy the little luxuries in life. Yes, you're going to have it hard. Yes, there's going to be money, and you have to check the bank. You got to see what kind of funds you have. But you need to give yourself little rewards, little teeny luxuries. That doesn't mean going out and buying yourself a whole new wardrobe because you think you're going to get this job that may not come through for you. What it means is, if you want to have a chocolate bar, go out and buy a chocolate bar for yourself. Just something that tells you you're doing a good job. Some people like to have ice cream. I couldn't stand it, but some people like to have ice cream and go for a walk in the park. That may be a luxury for you right now. And you have to have some types of luxuries. You have to enjoy some things in life. Now this one here is in the reverse, so I'll read it in non-reverse. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. Okay, since it's in the reverse, right now you won't have the funds to do what you want to do, whether it comes to schooling or learning something new or doing something new. You just won't have the financial backing you up. You've got to start making a plan. And this one's in the reverse too, so I'll read it in the other way. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges. This is kind of a understanding matter. When it's like this, I think there, in whoever life this is, and whoever this really resonates with, they have had people around you that have turned their back on you, and you feel like you're on your own. You don't have your family where you are right now, and I think what you have to do, because you can change this. Like, if it doesn't matter really what I say, I could tell you go out and buy a lottery ticket, and you don't, then you won't win. But then again, I could tell you buy a lottery ticket, you buy a lottery ticket, you don't win. There's some kind of reason behind that. But once you switch this camera off, or once you stop watching this video, you've got freedom of will. You could do whatever you want. However, you will get into a situation where you're going to be moving away. You're going to be going to the people that care about you, the people that are there for you. The people that are around you right now don't. From what the card says, they don't. You have to get around people that care about you. And because this has got a lot to do with love and romance, not so much romance, but love, we're going to use the romance cards just to see what they may possibly say, to see if there's anything that comes up about family or anybody that will help you, or that you can actually talk to from where you are, that will actually help you. Spirits near and far, can you please give us some insight on family, people that they can trust, friends? Give them some insight on where to go from here. Please, spirits near and far. Reading number 3. Okay, there we go. What I'm getting here is that the people that are near and dear to you love you. They care about you, and they will invest their time and their advice to you. You take their advice, you can leave their advice. And the time has come to clear your energy. Release your ex is what it's saying. So release, it could be your ex, it could be the job, it could be anything that doesn't serve you. It's time for you to release it and go. Release it and go. Move. Whether it's physical move, which I think it is for some of you, or emotional, because you had so many emotional things going on. It is time for you to clear your energy. Change, move. Time for you to clear your energy. That is reading number 3. If you like this reading, click the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good week. Bye.